everybody, welcome back to another episode of Property Chat with Lucy, and today I want to share with you something amazing. We are shooting Property Chat with Lucy at Park Grand Suites in one of their amazing furnished apartments right behind Yaya, and guess what? This kicks all the 4 key things we all look out for when you're looking for short stay accommodation: affordability, experience, cleanliness, location. Tick every box. Let me tell you, only 10,000 shillings for maximum of 4 people. Guys, let's see how this place looks like before I just tell you my experience with them. Can you imagine, for 10,000 shillings around Yaya Center, and not around Yaya Center, right behind Yaya Center, you get a queen size bed, a king size bed, fully equipped kitchen, and a place that is elegantly put together in a very artistic way. My goodness, I was more than happy. And basically, this is a place I saw myself coming to hang out with my friends, maybe on a Friday evening, and have the weekend here, sipping some wine. And also, I just thought of, maybe if I have family members coming to the city, or relatives or loved ones, for medical attention or for special occasions, this is the right place. And for that amount of money, I was convinced that I've gotten value for my money because of the location and basically how I felt home away from my home. Back to today's topic, I want to go back to my previous episode where I was talking about some of the things we need to consider before investing in the Kenyan market. And I highlighted a segment that you need to do our research. And research involves evaluating real estate markets. In today's episode, I want to touch on the 4 factors that we need to consider when we're evaluating real estate markets in Kenya. One is basically property appreciation. I mentioned, and I'm going to stress on this again, property values and property appreciation is always pegged on the location. So it's up to you to just look at the historical data of a given location, and not even location, of a given market, that you've decided you're going to invest, I'm sure that as of now, you understand what a purchase plan is, and for now, you have a clear mind what you want to invest in. And in this case, with that clear mind, when you're going to the market, property appreciation should guide you on where you need to land. You might say, I want to do the Airbnb business. And not even the Airbnb business, there's also the option of doing rental properties. But what guides you should be property appreciation in these rental properties. And in this case, I'll give you an example. You may look into Kileleshwa. Depending on your income, or rather your financial muscle, that is what is going to land you in the location that you can afford. But you need to check on property, how the property values and land values have been appreciating in the past, so you can see and predict how the future is. The future might not be guaranteed, or rather it might not be predictable, because in the wake of COVID-19, the real estate market has really staggered in a lot of ways. But if there's a huge dip in terms of property values, that shows the market is a bit volatile, and for me, I would advise you take a pause on it. But if it's a small dip, that's normal, because real estate market, definitely, as you all are aware, it's a cycle. We have booms, we have recessions. During recession period, property values tend to go down, and that is normal. But if the dip is too big or too deep, then I feel you need to pause and just look back into another location. So, as I've just mentioned, it's easy to get overwhelmed by the amount of data that is out there when you're evaluating a property market. And property appreciation should be one of the key factors, as I've mentioned, that you need to look out for. The other factor you need to look into is the average property expenses. We always get excited when we hear there's a property being sold for maybe 40 million and it's giving you 350,000. Now, it's exciting in itself, but it might not be exciting to everyone, because what comes to your pocket, the net, is what needs to drive you. So you need to understand what expenses are associated in any given property that you buy, be it a home, be it a rental property, be it an Airbnb business. Get to know the nature of expenses, get the average, so you can know if you'll be making money at the end of the day. We all get into real estate to make money. And as I said initially, you make money at the point of entry, not at the point of exit. So at this point of entry, it's wise that you evaluate and get to know the property expenses that are associated with a given property. So you'll always have a list of, maybe, for instance, if you're buying a rental property, the seller might give you a list of expenses that he's been incurring in terms of common area water, common area electricity, property land rents and rates. Those are some of the things you need to factor in and get to know how much is the net income that comes to your pocket. Because I can tell you, as we look in another episode on the common measures of how to know if a property is generating income or rather it's performing well, you will understand the gross income, or rather the cumulative income from a property. It's not everything to an investor. The net is what is key. Now, this might sound exciting and maybe shocking to some. When you're looking to invest in any property market, for me, this is key to everything. The age of a property, the condition, and basically even the style at times, because like at the moment, people will gear to open spaces. So the kind of property you're looking into, I feel it's prudent that you highlight those factors when you're evaluating that given market. Get to know, I want to look for a home or a rental property that has a given design, because the demand is driving to that direction. So in that, it's going to help you keep tabs with what is happening in the market. And I'm going to give you an example. Right now, many people want to buy townhouses that have garden, because we all know if you're seated outside airy places, you're more safer than in a contained area in this wake of COVID-19. And some of these things are very key, because if there are any renovations that needs to be done or readjustment to how the investment sits, then that is going to affect the after repair value. Get to know, if I don't get what I'm looking for and I inject X amount of money, what is the impact of that injection to the value of the property after I'm done? Because that is very key. As I'm saying, we are all in real estate to make money. If you're not making money, then there's no sense of even starting investing in it. So that, for me, is very key. Age of the property, how the property sits in terms of the style, the condition, and the after repair value. In that way, you're able to actually understand and evaluate properties that are in that line and see, if I don't get that, how much money do I need to inject so I can achieve my goals and objectives of investing. And this is very key, which I would say it's about maybe 60% why the demand moves in a given direction. It's a diversity of employment in a given area. You need to understand who is living in that market, what is driving them to live there. Those two are the factors that are going to help you understand how the future would look like. If there's diversity of employment in a given area, then your risk levels are a bit lower than having only one employment line driving demand in a given location. What happens if something happens to that line of employment? It means there'll be adverse effects to your investment. And in that case, things might not look as you wished. So additionally, I would say I recommend that you look at areas that have various diversity in terms of employment, because that will help you understand what other factors drives that market. Before I even finish on this, I always say consult with other people, consult with your loved one, consult with your mentor, and get to know if this is something that you don't want to make a mistake that people have made. So I always say, as much as you've checked on all the 4 factors that I've talked about, just consult further and get a feel of what other investors in that line. And if you don't have a mentor in real estate and you're very keen in investing in real estate, please identify someone who has passed through that path. You don't want to be walking in your own lane without following footsteps of other people. And as I finish, evaluating a market depends mostly on understanding your goals and the needs of that market. I highly recommend writing your goals down, basically, and sharing what I've just said, sharing them with the people around you, and gaining an understanding of the specific market conditions you need that will help you to be successful in that line. So start with the indicators that I've mentioned in this episode, and you'll be well on your way just to excel in understanding a particular area if it fits you. I hope you've enjoyed this episode, and I'm looking forward to getting your reviews. And if you have anything that I can help you, feel free to get into my inbox, or you can call this line below, and I'll definitely get in touch with you. Kindly, if you find this information valuable, feel free to share with your friends. If you've not subscribed, make sure you subscribe, because this information can actually change your life. See you in my next video.